In this recording, we'll be going over what is Service Center, and then we'll be going through a short demonstration of the module. I do want to point out at the beginning of this, I have a contact information that you can reach out to DSD on to inquire more about Service Center. If you have any questions or need to request a further demonstration, you can do so. It's at enhancements@dsd.com. I would recommend taking notes throughout if you would like to request a further demonstration of maybe things you would like to see that your company does to see if it works for Service Center, or just a feature that we maybe touch on but don't go into details in this demonstration. So go ahead, if you could include those in your email when you reach out to us, that would be great, so then we can be prepared for your demonstration for your company. So Service Center is for manufacturing, distribution, and third-party repair shops. It's an ideal solution for businesses that need to track warranties, perform repair service, and even send replacement units or loaners. It's closely integrated with sales order, inventory, and accounts receivable modules. Some of the key features, it is for repair customer equipment or inventory. You can refurbish or repair internal equipment or inventory. You can process returns and exchanges. Does have the ability to track demo or loaner units that you do send out on your service orders. You can track and manage all of your warranties. You can get failure analysis and productivity reports. So the system tracks any failure codes that you put into the system, and you can also write reports off of the productivity. You can keep a complete service history of each item. It's going to record and track technician time entries. You can auto-generate invoices from service orders. You also have the ability to quick return any demo or loaner units that you do send out in the system. There is paperless office integration with Service Center. I do want to point out that Instadocs was just created for Service Center as well, so that is a new feature. You can auto-generate invoices we touched on. That does include 4 Business Insights Explorer views. There's 7 standard crystal reports. And then how is Service Center different than other products you've seen? Other products are typically for field service. There's one price for the module, and there's no additional charges for users. Other softwares charge for additional users. Sage does not. It falls under the Sage 100 user licenses. Another key feature about Service Center is it's easy to use or learn. It's a familiar interface. It follows all of the standard Sage 100 features. So if your users are already used to working in Sage 100, this will be a pretty easy transition for them. And then let's go ahead and jump into a demonstration. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Sage here. You can see it's just your standard Sage 100. Service Center is an additional module. So it's over here on your module listings. We click on it, you see your standard Sage 100. You got your main tabs, inquiries, reports, set up, some utilities, and your Explorer views that we just talked about. I am going to go ahead and kind of just jump into the service order data entry. It's kind of the meat of the Service Center. Let's go ahead and create an order. As we go through this, there are different order types: user, credit return, a price quote, refurbish, standard exchange. I'm going to leave it at standard for now. Like I said, this demo is going to be kind of a broad overview of what Service Center is. So if you do have questions, feel free to send those off, or want to see another demo, we can certainly do so. Again, you've got, since it's integrated with accounts receivable, your customer standard listing will pull up in the system. Then we move down, there's different status codes in Service Center, and these are tracked by user and date and time. So there are standard codes. Your company can also create new status codes depending on your processes, and again, they are able to be reported off of. For now, we need to leave it as open. If you have an RMA number, any of your standard customer stuff that you have set up, any ship tos will pull through. Again, your address, that's going to be all from your customer. Tab 3, your service items. So if we go ahead and add a service item to this order, you do have the ability, there's multiple ways to search for item codes if you're on the phone with a customer. They might have the item code, they might have the serial number, they might not have any at all. If you can add a new service item, if you click this lookup here, this gives you everything that this customer in your system owns. If they don't currently own, if they're not the current owner, if you sell to a vendor and then your vendor resells and then that client is calling in, you do have the ability to just type in a serial number. A pop-up will come up and it says, this is not the current owner, do you want to change it? And at that time you can go ahead and say yes. The system, I will show you under each of the service items, tracks your owner history. So it will always keep track of who had it first and who currently has it. And then there is an owner history that you can see on that for that service item. So that is something that the system will keep track for you. But again, if we go ahead and just use this lookup, I'm going to grab one of the ones that this customer already owns. You can add a product description. Again, standard Sage 100. If you click on your problem description, you have a large area where you can type a big, if the customer is telling you a big lengthy description, you can go ahead and type it into here. There's failure reason codes, complaint codes on this screen as well. I'm going to touch shortly on the demo loaner. If we do, this L button here is going to go ahead and automatically create a loaner. So if I go ahead and click on it, I believe they had the model 100 for this one. We'll go ahead and click that. We're going to pull it from the main warehouse. Proceed. This did go ahead and create a sales order without jumping around too much. If I can go ahead. On my lines, it did go ahead and create a loaner sales order out in the system for me. The second I clicked on that L button, it went ahead and started the process. So this will be out as a sales order, and that's the loaner. There's also tracking on all of the loaner and demo replacements in the system. Again, I'm not going to touch too much on that today, but if that's a feature you need to see fully through the process, we can do so at a later date. So now that we're on this screen, we've entered our serial number, our item code. You can see a lot of information from this screen. You can see the warranty code it was assigned, so it had a 2-year warranty, and we are in warranty the day we entered this service order. It does go ahead and say in warranty. If our header happens to be out of date, it is going to go ahead and show out of warranty, and then based off of your setup in the system, you will have probably pricing on your lines. But if we leave it in warranty, our line pricing, depending on what your warranty covers, will be 0 since it's in warranty. So let's go ahead and talk about the lines. So now we've got the service items, which you can have multiple units that you're going to be servicing on one service order. For now, I'm just going to keep it 1 to keep it simple, but we will go ahead and go to the lines here. If you do, this comes up for certain customers. The reason this no service item line is here is, say they call in, hey, you're fixing this unit, can you go ahead and send us 3 belts while you're at it so we can keep in our inventory, or what, for whatever reason they might need them. You can go ahead and add them to this service order without having to create a separate invoice for that customer in your system. But everything you're typically going to be working on, not everyone uses the no service item, but the line you're going to be working on is for the item code and serial number you're going to be working on. So say this one does need a new belt, and we're going to have some labor. Mhm. We're going to go ahead and add some labor here. Again, I have a standard service tech set up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, but you can change that or have a standard tech depending on the labor code. Again, I want to point out the pricing of everything is not coming through because it's in warranty. If we did want to go ahead and change that back out of warranty, it asks you if you want to update the pricing. It's going to go ahead and say yes. Here now you see that your service entry now has pricing that you can invoice out. Go ahead and put it back into warranty. To my lines, so now I've got my lines, you've got your standard total and payments tab like your standard Sage 100. Again, we can get to the customer information within service order entry. We're all within service order entry. We can see within your standard customer maintenance. This is also on your standard customer maintenance when you open it from the AR tab, but you've got a service info button and you can see service history if they were to have any service order, other additional service orders opened, and this is all within the customer maintenance. Any end user service items, any dealer service items, this can all be found within customer maintenance. Again, we just got there from just within Service Center. So here I can create an invoice, but I'm going to take a step back for a second and go ahead and accept this. If we were to have multiple units on one service item, so say Pizza Hut called me and they've got 5 units that are coming back from recall that are in with warranty or whatever the reason they sent them back to us, and you're going to have techs working on all different service items and serial numbers, you can go ahead and look up the serial order and you can give it an entry number. Again, I just had only one line on this particular service order, but you could have multiple. So within this screen, it's a little different. You're still seeing the same fields. Again, you've got your status, your complaint, failure reason codes, all of that within this screen here. You've got your additional information. Here you can see the end user, so you're working on it with Pizza Hut. And then here's where you're seeing your lines. So similar to your service order data entry, that includes everything on that particular service order. The service item data entry is just for one particular unit on a service order. If you have any additional questions or that's confusing, please let me know. But hopefully that makes some sense, especially if you're a standard Sage 100 user. What else do we have within this screen? Again, I'm going to show your customer. We can show the service item. So there's a service item maintenance screen you can get to there within service item data entry. Here, what I was talking about, you can see who originally this unit was sold to. In this case, it is Pizza Hut and the current end user. If there was different user information on this particular item code, there would be another button populated up here that says owner history, and you could click on it and view the owner history of that item. Let's see if I can go ahead and just change it here on the fly and see. So now it's got some owner history, so if I click on it, this isn't the same particular item, but it does have an owner history that the item changed or was sold. This is the same item we were just looking at, and again, you can see the owner history. It was Pizza Hut. Now I had changed it to John Deere. For our case, not to mess up my test data, I am going to leave it on Pizza Hut. Again, you're viewing all this information within your service item data entry. We're not jumping around from where we have been. And you've got your totals. So it's telling me I didn't modify anything. So if we do want to go ahead I want to point out how we can invoice. As we did see in service order data entry, there was a create invoice button up at the top. I do want to show you the sales order screen. So it gives you different options. Oh, invoice screen, not sales order. Same thing, you're used to your standard Sage 100 entering a sales order number. For service order number has now been added to the screen and a lookup so you can bill out service order items. I'm gonna click on my notes. So in this particular case, when I closed that service order, I didn't mark it as closed or ready to be invoiced. So it does need to have a status that it's ready to be invoiced. So let me jump back in here. Mark it as closed. Saying I'm going to update all service items. Yes, I'm going to update everything. Now I can invoice that service order 10. Go to my lines. It's asking me to select the entry. So if there was multiple in here, you could select all of them, or if you're only ready to bill one unit, you can do so like that. I'm going to go ahead and pick my only one. Didn't select. There it goes. Now it pulls through. So now I can see my bill and added my labor. Again, this is a $0 invoice since it was under warranty, so we can go ahead and update it and do whatever you need to or ship it in the system back out to the client. Just gonna go over a few other features here that we had kind of touched on. So we do have the service item maintenance screen. So again, you've got your item code by serial number. We were able to go in here. It was originally sold to AA, and now John Deere currently owns it. Again, we could go in here, change it. It's going to say, do you want to update the owner history? You're going to say yes, and then you'll see this little button appear that you can see the transaction that AA currently owned it, and then we had changed it to John Deere, who is the current owner. If there was any purchase orders, any service info, you can see all of the history here. So if there's history, we can go ahead and double click. Again, you're going to go ahead. Service order makes it really easy to see what you're looking at. It will tell you it's in history. And again, we're all getting to all these screens just within the service item maintenance. Really handy. Touched on that screen. Again, I wasn't going to go too much into detail of demo loaner, but there is a record maintenance screen, so you can look up any items if they are on the list. There's one here. Here's when I talked about the key features. There is a quick return button. There's a quick sell button. The return will go ahead and create a credit memo and bring it back, and never truly leaves the way demo and loaner or rental work. Is it never truly leaves your inventory. It is transferred to a demo loaner warehouse. So anything in that warehouse you do know is not currently on site with you. So when you return it, you will bring it back into a warehouse where you will store that inventory. But again, if you need to see some demo loaner rental information and more in depth for your company, please reach out for an additional demonstration and we can go through a little bit more of that for you. I do want to point out for the demo loaner, the DTR does not hit your inventory or your cost of goods sold. And that's because truly not leaving your inventory, and for a demo loaner, you're not typically charging your customer for any of that. Lastly, it's really, again, a quick overview of Service Center. I do want to point out that it is available for download on our website. So again, I'm on DSD's website and under products, it's number 7, it's our Service Center. Down here, you can download by version. We highly, highly recommend it to be installed on a completely separate test system. So you guys are not installing this on your live system where you guys are currently working. But again, you can download it, run it in demo mode. You can reach out to me. There is demo data available if needed. I can send that to you additionally. That is not posted on our website, but that is available to you if needed. But again, all of our products are on our website. You can go by version, you can download the product executable and download, there is a user manual for each version. So go ahead and look there if you are interested in that. But the last thing I do want to show you is that contact information. So go ahead and reach out to Enhancements at dsdinc.com if you have any additional questions or need another demo request. Thank you.